Good morning. We are Camila, Laura, and Midania, and today we are going to analyze the information about three different candidates for being the manager of a company. And we are going to answer three different questions to this activity. The first question is, what are the dominant motives for each candidate? Okay, I'm gonna talk about Charlie Adams, the first candidate. Okay, one of his dominant motive is that he is a easygoing person. That means that his team were really feel comfortable with him. Why? Because he make jokes and he make loud people around him, and he really offer a good environment of work, a really work environment. Other dominant motive is that he talk about the importance of cooperation and teamwork. Yes, according to the information, he is a social person. He really enjoy stay in parties and share with his teamwork and with his leaders and partners. So yeah, he's a social person. That's why he focus on the teamwork and cooperation. Other dominant motives that I identify about him is about narcissism, some aspects like low self-esteem and low self-confidence. Why I think that? Mm, because he doesn't push his team to develop more characteristic or more difficult in their activities. No, he thinks that his teamwork is perfect in the way that they are. That's why I think that he seems and has low self-esteem because he needs the external admiration for feel better with himself. And the last one characteristic is that he's a cheerful and optimistic person. Yeah, like I mentioned before, he's a social man and really enjoy animate people to be happy. But of course, he's related with his narcissism because he needs to be admired. So yeah, he complements that with cheerful and optimistic attitude.
The main dominant motives found in candidate Stewart are the level of self-esteem, high self-awareness, emotional orientation, control, and personal integrity. Period 7 thought Stewart didn't have broad notions regarding his job. He saw it as an opportunity and as a challenge to do it, recognizing his ambition to advise in his career and enter management. Likewise, his level of self-esteem and self-awareness helped were useful in identifying how to lead his team from the critical position of recent policies. On the other hand, Bill's good relationship with his boss and other members of the organization is considered to divide from his motivation power to influence people to reach higher levels of management. In addition to highlighting that in his integrity, he fulfills his responsibilities eventually and inspiring others to follow the same ideology.
First of all, I think Ray Johnson's motive is giving himself the life that he couldn't have when he was a poor child. That's why he believes he deserves a life full of luxury, parties, lovers, and a lot of money. And second, he's a person who cannot be controlled. For this reason, he always wants to be right, and without caring if someone is affected or not by his decisions or actions.
The second question is, what are the implications of this trait for the success of each candidate if selected for the general manager position? Okay, I'm gonna talk about Charlie Adams, and like I mentioned in the previous questions, his traits and skills. Now I'm gonna talk about the implication of those skills. Okay, I really I really think that Charlie Adams could offer a good work environment to his subordinates. Why? Because he is an easygoing person and really appreciates the importance of cooperation and teamwork. And he is cheerful and optimistic. That means that he really can offer a good environment, a peace environment of work, and yeah, subordinates or his teamwork can really feel closer with his manager. Why? Because Charlie is a social man. That that means he really appreciates others' abilities and characteristics. So he he is able to connect with other people and make feel them better with themselves and appreciate for their manager, of course. So that's why I think that Charlie Adams really offer a trait for the success, mainly social traits.
The consequences of the traits for the success of the candidate steward if he is selected in the position of the general manager will be based on the defects of the excess level of self-esteem and the power orientation. Since excess self-esteem can cause problems in the environment and with coworkers, arrogance and superiority complexes can be reflected in the interaction with his superiors. Besides, it should be noted that the misuse of the power orientation can be lead to not being able to make decisions, delegate tasks or responsibilities to someone else, and use techniques to manipulate others.
From my point of view, I think Ray Johnson has less possibilities for achieving success in the general manager position. Although he's a persistent person with his goals, he used to early excess and he will do anything in order to obtain what he wants. And in this way, he could make immoral decisions that can affect the company's stability. And finally, the third question is, should Susan recommend one of these candidates for the position or look for external candidates?
I believe that Susan should recommend the candidate Charlie Adams because he recognizes the importance of cooperation, teamwork, always seeks the appropriate and quick solutions to any problems. Additionally, the candidate has different aspects of the general manager model, such as high level self esteem, effectiveness, emotional stability, power, power motivation, and values such as courtesy, honesty, and civilization, which could have a positive impact on the company. Although he sometimes demonstrates his arrogance with subordinates to optimize his performance, he provides bonus to everyone. Therefore, this type of attitude and behaviors he possibly performs in order to maintain the commitment of the activities and the effective leadership.
If I take into account the competence that a true leader must have, I think none of the three candidates should be chosen by Susan because they are so extremist. And for example, Charlie always seeks to be fine with everyone. Bill prefers to do everything alone, and Ray loves money and spending on what he wants. And I think a company needs a leader, a manager with a balance between a good personality and the professionalism. And that's all about a national products case. And thank you for watching our video.